Hey everybody, Megawar 31 back here for FSi DFS. We are finally in the playoffs for MLB Baseball. Won't be doing a video every single day, but that's bad news. Good news is if you go to FSiDFS.com, the link's in the description, you can sign up for Major League Baseball free of charge, and you can have content for every single slate of the postseason. So all I have to do is go to the website, sign up, you'll get in our Discord, you'll get in the room, and all our cores and notes and everything will go right to you, and you'll already be in there. So when spring training comes around, then you'll see a notification, and probably be able to sign up for that for free too, because we've done that free for the last 2 or 3 years. So anyways, what we're looking at is the weather for tomorrow, and it's going to be decent, a little percent chance of precipitation, maybe like 10% in New York. But other than that, it's the winds, I think, is the biggest story. 11 miles per hour blowing in Cleveland, 9, almost 10 miles per hour blowing in St. Louis. New York, it's blowing in at about 11.5 miles per hour. Looks like it's blowing out 17 miles per hour in Toronto, but they play in a dome, so it doesn't really matter. So let's look at the slate quickly here. 4 games, starts at 12:07 tomorrow, so have to be ready for that. And I know it's a long slate, so covers last game goes off at 8:07, so you're talking probably about 12 straight hours of baseball, which is cool. Good way to start the weekend. So first game is Tampa Bay and Cleveland. So you have McClanahan and Bieber here. I actually don't mind McClanahan here. I know he's really struggled if you look at his last couple of starts towards the end of the season, but I mean, this guy was cruising towards almost the AL Cy Young up to the All-Star break. He got, he was the starter of the All-Star game, I believe. I think I remember playing him. He got lit up pretty good. But I still think he's a decent pitcher, and I think he can come out. And Cleveland is a tough matchup because they're patient, but besides J-Ram, they don't have a ton of power here. That really scares me. And so I think he's definitely played 6,300. Bieber on the other side, same thing. I think, I don't think many people will pair Max and Bieber. Scherzer and Bieber together, but potentially. I think they both have the most upside for the highest amount of points, so that might be a unique strategy to go with here. And then just there's plenty of value bats in the lineups to be in good spots to be able to fill out if that's what you want to choose to do. So I think Bieber would probably be my second choice. Obviously Max, but a good pivot off him in cash. Bat wise, Tampa Bay, I don't really love them here. They're cheap, so definitely can make some things work, especially down the bottom of the lineups. So again, if you're playing GPPs and multi-entering, like even at 20 max, you're going to play every single team, so I think there's some merit here. Cleveland on the other side, again, not super interested against McClanahan. If you look at the screen here, I did rank the bullpens, and Tampa Bay does have, the 15th worst bullpen, but Cleveland has the second, so I really don't like Tampa Bay here, because even if they get through Beaver, their bullpen's super solid. Tampa Bay's bullpen, I guess we call average, 15th is middle of the road for the Major League Baseball. So don't really love the bats in either of this game, and like I said, McClanahan or Bieber, I think you can play for either pitcher if you want. Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals, Zach Wheeler and Jose Quintana. Quintana's an interesting choice, but the St. Louis really doesn't have an ace. They have Flaherty, they have Montgomery, who was good after the trade, but then has really not been good recently. And then there's a whole bunch of Mikolas is there. There's a bunch of people they could mix and match. So I don't know. But Quintana's going to get the start here, lefty against a Philly team who has a lot of righties, power bats. I know the park's not a great one for hitting, and I know the wind's blowing in here, but St. Louis has the worst bullpen also, statistically, for the teams in this wildcard round, coming in at 20th with XFIT. So I don't think I'm going to be playing much Quintana here, even at like 5.3. He's the cheapest pitcher, I believe. Don't really like him there. Zach Wheeler's interesting on the other side here because I know the Cardinals have a decent offense and they have some lefties in their lineup now with Donovan and Nootbaar and Dickerson, but I prefer them more against a lefty than a righty. And Wheeler, even though he's come back from injury, he's actually been solid in his starts, and he's actually had 2 solid outings against St. Louis this season. Really shut them down. So I think, and Philadelphia doesn't have a great bullpen behind him, so I think he's definitely somebody that you can consider as maybe an SP2, or if you're paying down for 2 pitchers to get some expensive bats in, then he's somebody that I wouldn't say he's an SP1, but I think he can be an SP2 in cash or GPP. And Quintana not interested in. Phillies by far my favorite stack on the slate. I love the righties, and especially like even Schwarber and Harper here still hit lefties well. And there's even like Castellanos and Segura and Verling is probably at 2-1. You get a wraparound stack. There's a lot of ways you can go here to make it work and still get max and a decent SP2 in there. St. Louis, I think it's just going to be my top GPP stack. I think Wheeler, has shut them down, but potentially if we want to stack the lefties here with Goldschmidt and Arenado and hope they get to the bullpen, which hasn't been great, then I think, that's definitely a way to go in that game. Next up, we have Seattle and Toronto. We have Luis Castillo and Alex Manoah. I think both pitchers are solid here. Castillo has been good since the trade from the Reds. Toronto is a very good offense, but he's been good against righties, and that's primarily what Toronto has. So I think he'll be okay there. And their bullpen is really solid, coming in at 8th. Toronto on the other side, Manoah, I think he's a good pitcher, can throw some Ks. Again, had been erratic at points of the season, but now's the time to dial it in. So I think he's definitely in play, and the pricing on him is nice at 6.9. I think will have some shares of him definitely there. But I do like the Seattle offense because Toronto has a pretty weak bullpen behind him, coming at 16th overall in MLB. So Seattle, I think, makes my second favorite GPP stack, especially Rodriguez and Carlos Santana at 2.5 is a really, really cheap price. Raleigh is a decent catcher here, a switch hitter, has had some great success this season at 4.1, so there's definitely some opportunities there. And then Blue Jays are Blue Jays, so probably going to have the second highest total on the slate, if not the highest total. I'm not going to completely look at that, but I think they're definitely in play if you want to stack them. It's probably going to be hard to get them in with shares, so you might have to go with 2 mid-range pitchers, but there's so many options to mix and match on this slate, especially with all these starting pitchers should be decent. So it's just like pick the one that you want, and then I think the bullpens are really going to decide these. Final game you have here is going to be the Padres and the Mets. Yu Darvish and Max Scherzer. I know Darvish has had a good season, but this Met team is very patient. They should have a decent total, and I think offensively they're going to be a challenge for Darvish. Scherzer on the other side. I know San Diego put together this super team here, and but Soto really hasn't hit that great. Machado, Cronenworth has cooled off since his heater is on. So, and there's a lot of righties in the lineup, and Scherzer's usually good against them. So, will Scherzer give up like a run or two? Probably. That definitely wouldn't surprise me at all, but I think he'll definitely have strikeouts and have a really good performance here. And the Mets bullpen is number 3 overall, just right behind Cleveland, so they should be solid after that. So don't think I would go between Padre bats. I think they'd make a good leverage stack, probably have low ownership, and if for some reason Scherzer does have a bad game and they go off, then you'll have low ownership, and it'll definitely help you take down a tournament. Mets bats, I really like them. Probably Philly and Toronto a little bit ahead of them, but that bat I'll definitely look at. So let's see what I built for lineups. Again, we're doing this in the night before, so some things could change, so definitely come back and check the video like half an hour before if there's any major news, so we'll drop it in there if I change my mind on anything. or you just sign up for FSi DFS. You can get right in the Discord, and you can have complete access to what our finalized core are, and ask any questions to help you with your lineup. So I'm taking Max and McClanahan as my pitchers. If you don't trust McClanahan, but I think against Cleveland, they don't super scare me, and I think, he's going to be in playoff mode. They wouldn't give him the ball in game one if they didn't think that he was on a road, if they didn't think that he had what it needs to get it done. I'm taking the right-handed Philly bats, so give me Real Muto, give me Hoskins, give me Baum, Harper, or Schwarber. It's hard to get both in. You have to go with a lot, but I think I'm going to go with St. Louis value and probably punch shortstop with like Wells from Tampa Bay. He's at 2-2 just to make that stack work. FanDuel, give me Max, JT or Hoskins there. If you want to try to get the other one in utility, you're going to have to, again, pay down. But St. Louis stack here, a lot of cheap guys there for like Donovan, Nootbaar, Dickerson's pretty cheap also. And then I think I had a punt second base to make it work. Maybe I was able to finish off the stack, but again, we'll have to see what the lineups are. We're pretty sure what they are, but again, the focus is the right-handed bats of Phillies, although Harper I'm fine with as a lefty, and then St. Louis filling in for value. GPP, give me Castillo. If you can get up to Bieber as your SP2, that's fine. I might end up taking Manoah there, who's pretty cheap, but actually I like Seattle bats, so I think I'll probably go Weaver in my SP2 if I can't get up to Bieber. But Raleigh at catcher, Alonso or Santana. Santana opens up so much, but then give me the righties here and lefties. I'll take anybody from the Mets. The pitcher's right-handed, but I think anybody's going to have a good showing. So Alonso probably grades out as one of the best plays there, but it's just hard to get up to him. So Santana opens up a lot of salary. McNeil, Lindor at shortstop, Nemo, and then give me Julio Rodriguez there against Manoah in the bullpen for outfield, and then I think I'm going to fill in with Seattle guys. So if you want to go another way, take the Mets and throw another stack in there like Tampa Bay or Cleveland or something, that's perfectly fine too. I think getting Ramirez there at third base is about the same as putting in Julio Rodriguez in the outfield, and there's cheap outfielders that you can fill in with Cleveland to kind of balance that out. And then finally, GPP, going to take Castillo as my pitcher for FanDuel. Alonso, Segura, or Stott, one of those cheap guys at second base. Lindor, Nemo, and J-Rod. And then I think just to finish this off, you can throw in some Seattle value parts there. Or I found that if you take the bottom of the Phillies lineup versus the top of it, those guys have value bats fit and make the stack work on FanDuel. So you get all the Mets you want. The J-Rod is one off, and then fill in with the Philly value guys. So that's what I have for you. Again, probably won't do a video every single day for this, but I just wanted to kind of give you thoughts on the first slate just to kind of get you started. And like I said, sign up for FSi DFS. You can get in there. We'll have all the showdown slates, cores for that, tiers, things like that. Answer any of your questions. McKinley and I should be around for it. So I just appreciate you watching still. If you have any questions, like I said, put them in the comments below. Hit me up at Twitter, Megavert31. Check out the description of the video. That'll get you into FSi DFS so you can sign up. And, there's other cool things going on. Like I started EuroLeague basketball today, so that's in there. McKinley's doing preseason NHL for free. And then, we've got all of our premium content in there, soccer, NFL, NASCAR, so many cool things. So, or, if you just want to get in some pools for the weekend, we have Army Dragon runs NFL Squares for the Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games, and we've NFL pick'ems that you can put in like $12 and pick the games and win the pool if you do the best. So lots of cool stuff. So come check it out. Again, if the video helps you, please like it, subscribe to our channel. I just want to get up to that 4,000 mark. We're getting so close to it. So just tell your friends, subscribe to our channel, so we can you'll know when all our videos are coming out. And appreciate you still watching. So good luck in your contests. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you in the future. Bye.